Well, hello there, folks, and welcome to another episode of Toke Freely. Yay! Woo! Yeah, yeah! And I'm your host, Mr. Reese. So today, I have a new marijuana, like I try to do every time I come on the show. So today, my marijuana is called, my weed. Let me tell you that marijuana. My weed is called Blue Cream Cookie. Okay, there go the name, folks. Blue Cream Cookies. Okay. Don't ask me what it is, I don't know. It's called Blue Cream Cookies. It did come from a dispensary, and my boy hooked me up. Country hooked me up with this one. So he said it came from his boys, came from a dispensary. So here's what it looked like. I've been smoking on it. It's pretty good stuff. See if you can see the texture and stuff. Let me see if I can help you get a little extra light. Okay, there we go. See the color? Nice green. There's other colors involved, but I don't know if you can see them that well. Oh, here we go. There we go. All right. There we go. Got a good smell. Nice fruity smell, floral smell. Very, very nice aroma. No loud THC smell, but it's got that OG smell. I guess all of these are OGs, so I'm gonna have to say it's an OG. Cream cookie, blue cream cookies, OG. Excuse me. Excuse me, folks. I don't know. See, I'm having musical problems again today. I don't think it's there we go. So I got my joint rolled. Oh, so first I want to say, uh, please subscribe, like, tell other people about the show. Don't forget that my Patreon is Soul Time with Country and Mysteries. Also, you can check that out on Patreon. I mean, on Spotify and Anchor. Also, a new way to do it with Reese. You can find out on them channels too. There's a little too much glare right there. Okay, that's better. Also, a new way that we do it with Reese is also on Patreon. I mean, keep saying Patreon. Always on Anchor and Spotify. Let me see. Oh, for the young lady that asked me to give her a shout out. The reason why I didn't give you a shout out is because you're underage, and this show is for people 18 and older. So there was a reason for me giving you the shout out. But if you still want to get a shout out, I would just say hello. I'll give a shout out to uh, I forgot her name. I have to look back through my phone and get her name. Kamisha. Yeah, Kamisha. So for Kamisha, here's your shout out. Thank you. But I send you a text telling you why it's not really appropriate for me to give you a shout out. Okay, so anything else? Oh, don't forget the merchandise is coming. I had to change vendors with Toke Freely. I'm changing vendors because for some reason they just not getting the job done, folks. So I got to change vendors for that and get that done with. I'm pleased that you leave a comment, share. Uh, I don't think that's it. Don't forget to visit our Patreon. We're also on YouTube, Instagram, and Facebook. I post all these shows on there. You can also catch our old shows, Soul Town with Country Mysteries, and New Way to Do It, also on YouTube. You can find both of those shows. So I think I covered everything. Oh, and I want to give a special shout out because my grandmother's birthday was on the 30th. So and she's no longer here with us. So, but to me, she's always going to be here. So to my grandmother, happy birthday, and I love you. May you spend happy times in heaven. So let's light the joint up. I'm sure she wouldn't approve of this very much, but then again, my grandmother would. She could go with the flow if she wanted to. At the time she could. So light the joint. You know. So I see. What was I getting ready to say? It was a topic. Oh, Bill Cosby. So I see you see they let Bill Cosby out a few days ago. What y'all folks think about that? I always thought he was innocent because I just couldn't see that many women coming up against him, and it take all that time, and they say because they felt he was a rich and powerful man or whatever that they couldn't do nothing. Bullshit. He was a black man. They don't give a shit about lynching a black man in this country, this day and age, or any other day and age. So I think to me the whole thing was a farce. But then to get these people, the black people especially, that come on these shows and talk about he should have been this and he should have been that, and they don't know shit about the case. They just know what they read. That's you get those correspondents like that. They go over a case file and they read, and if it's a guilty verdict or an innocent verdict, they only go by that. They don't go by the details of what may lead up to this. Because I heard several stories. I heard he was trying to buy NBC. They got him. I heard that they thought he had too much money as a black man. I heard quite a few other, a few things. I heard that too many black people looked up to him, and they didn't want black people to look up to him, because they want to try to keep it down. So I've heard all kind of statements, and I also know that all of them women ain't telling the truth either. Because out of 50-something women, you would think that at least one would have came, and the one that came, it seemed like she was pushed to come. It don't seem like she was jumping in there willingly, even when they said it was in 2005. Still seemed like they was pushed to do it. Then he made a settlement. I don't know why, Bill Cosby, you just didn't deny it. You just couldn't deny it. I be like, I ain't did. Prove it. She said, I slept with her. Prove it. Prove that I raped her. Prove that I gave her drugs. Prove it. Because if he'd have came from that angle, they wouldn't have had a leg to stand on. And he could have debunked them all his fault. Because if you ain't got no proof, you going by hearsay, and I don't care if there's 100 women came up there and said that shit. If they ain't got no proof, ain't nothing they can do. So I think Bill Cosby, he fell for the okie doke, and they got him on it. If he had relations with that woman, I mean, a star like that, women, they're gonna see if they can get something out you. I need to light my incense in here. Hold on a minute, folks. They seem like they're gonna try to get something out you one way or the other. Because if I'm not mistaken, didn't she file a civil suit? Against him. So there's your proof right there, folks. They was out for money. Because ain't no way, ain't no way to know 50 women. You know, And to hear these people say that shit's the same shit, boy, the black folks always ready to jump on the white man's side. All they gotta do is present any kind of fake evidence or get another person your same color, because they kept bringing that up. The same color. It was only 3 women, but I did hear it was a model, Beverly Johnson or somebody like that, who claimed the same thing. That he did the same. Not to say he didn't do it, but all I'm saying, after all that time, now you gonna come and do it? So one woman came out the woodwork, the rest of the women came out to it. And they was mostly white women. That's bullshit. They was looking for money. They was looking for money. So got a little coffeeability. It's good tasting weed. All these cookies, I would have see this country. There's another cookie. We also did about 5-6 cookies, but once again, I'm impressed with it. It doesn't smell like it. It does smell as far as the OG line is. It has that smell. But other than that, it has its own individual smell. Very fruity, very floral. No bad aftertaste. And it is quite strong. You don't feel it right at the beginning. But after a couple more pours, it'll make it cough a little bit. It's good tasting weed. I like it. Now, this is what I would call a full body uh, aroma, a joint, full body. Because to me, a full body joint is when you taste it, you can taste the flavors in it. It's got a good potency to it. It don't take you all day to get high. And I see, look, I'm high and I got this much left. So I took approximately, I probably can go back and count how many tokes I took off this joint, because it's my first joint of the day. So maybe 3-4 tokes is what I took. And I'm already coughing. It's good weed. I recommend it already. But I'm wondering where a lot of these marijuana's coming from. Are they coming from individual growers? Are they coming from overseas? Are they coming from people that grow it here? I would really like to know more about the information. So if you people got information about some of these marijuanas and why they're named, what they're named, and where they come from, because like I said, I've reached out. I'm reaching out to dispensaries again. So, Mr. Reese, I'm reaching out to any dispensary that want to showcase their product. You know, and so we can let the world know and let people know what you got out there, what's real, what's not real. Because, like I said, until I can get into more dispensaries, I'm gonna assume all this stuff is the name that it says it is. Now, I did go, in the streets a couple of times. I got the weed. I say, hey man, what's the name of this weed? The guy will give me the name of the street, like Main Street OG. Okay, and I'm like, I can't use that kind of shit on the show. You just making up shit. I don't. I'm. Wow. I'm gonna go and tell people, okay, this is Main Street OG. You can get it from Main Street. I'm not gonna do that because that's promoting illegal stuff. And plus, I'm not trying to get them brothers in no trouble. So they should think. Y'all should think before y'all say shit like that. Because all this doing, police watching this shit. Anything black man do, police watching. So they watching this shit. Anything got to do with marijuana, they can try to string some shit on you and make it illegal. You know, so you should never say, even if you made up a name, man, and I still don't choose to use that name, you should never say the location of where you got weed for the street guys. So I would never expose that. So when they come up with stuff like that, I just smoke the weed. I just go home and smoke the weed. I don't use it for the show. You know. Now this, I know is the real deal because Country got it from his boy that gets it from a dispensary. So I know this is the real deal. Plus, I sometimes I look the weeds up too, to see if they're real and stuff. Like I had a question about the rhino. I didn't think the rhino. I thought the guy just made it up, but I looked up and found out the rhino marijuana. There's rhino weed. So to me, if you can't really look it up, they give you a name and you can't really look it. I mean, not to say because there's so many names. I'm not saying you're gonna find every name. But some that's the more popular strands, like I guess because this is part of the cookie strand, it does come up. So some of it comes up, some of it don't. But sometimes it's worth the look, it's just somebody telling you, hey, this is whatever ever OG, you know. Because my job here to do is to introduce you to the marijuanas so that you can look for them and enjoy them like I enjoy them instead of just out there in the streets buying anything, And because a couple of days ago, I have to admit, I wasn't doing the show, but a couple of days ago, I just bought some weed from my own private. I bought off the street. It was garbage. I mean, I'm glad I only spent $20, but it was horrible. Then he didn't know what it was. He called it an OG. It wasn't an OG. It was just a regular Reggie, as my niece would say. It was original Reggie. That's all it was. You know, and it was terrible. And I actually thought about making a show for it, but things came up. I never had enough time. Before I know it, the weed was gone. You know, but that's why I do what I do. I don't do this just sit up here and smoke weed. 'Cause I can do that anywhere. Just smoke weed and talk shit, which that is part of what I do. But it's also to inform. You know that a lot of times when you skeptical about weed, because you know what? Because now, like I said before, I noticed that they can put that smell onto the weed, and you think you buying some really good weed, but you just buying some garbage that smell good. Like I said before, you can get some garbage that smell and taste good, and it don't do nothing for you. And psychologically, we get high because we equate the smell and the taste to getting high, and it's not really getting you high. So I don't get psyched out like that, you know. So that I tell you, when you smell your weed, smell deep into it. Smell those fruity and floral smell. Get to recognize them. So if you come across something similar or close to it, you can almost expect what to get. Almost, because I can't say in 100% of the time that you're going to get what's always in the bag. Because even I get food. And like I said, I've been smoking a long time. Probably I know some of my demographics. I do see I have an older crowd too. So you guys, y'all already know what I'm talking about. It's the young guys the young folks we're trying to hip to. Because I mean, and then for the old smokers like me, we do learn a little bit more along the way. So that that's also good. We learn a little bit more along the way. But I'm gonna always seem to recommend. Seem like I haven't ran across a bad cookie OG, bad strain of the cookie or the cookie strain. So I haven't ran across a bad one yet. This is just like the other ones, it's very good. But it makes me wonder because when I did smell it, the smell did have a similarity to a smell I smelled before. I'm starting to recognize some smells, and I'm wondering are they just using the same strand and just giving it different names? I can't say this tastes like it because I have to admit I don't remember what the last cookie tastes like that I had. I just know that it was good. I went back and looked at a couple of my videos, and it seemed like so far all the cookies, I seem to like all the cookies. And this is just another one. So this one is called Blue Cream Cookie. Blue Cream Cookie, folks. You know, and it's a pretty good weed. You know, I have to admit, I think I like it very much. You know, and also, we're still taking sponsors. Anybody have a product, and it's not just. It don't have to be just a marijuana product, but I would prefer if it has something to do with marijuana. Because, like I said, I have a sponsor that's gonna be. He does canes. That's basically got nothing to do with marijuana. It absolutely don't have anything to do with marijuana. Oh, excuse me. But we're trying to get products off the ground, and I'm not. I was going to go through other sources, but I want to sell products that every everyday people either make or are trying to push themselves. This is I call the urban channel, the urban show, for marijuana and for entrepreneurs. So if you're an entrepreneur like me, you got a product, you got something you're trying to push. Come on back, man. We see if we can work something out and we can, push it for you. You know, and maybe help get it off the ground. Everything is a chance or a challenge until you make that first step. I was very nervous when I first did this show. I did it, not this show, but when I first started doing YouTube, I did a little show I was doing because I thought I could get the kids stuff, so I wrote this story. But the story was so lengthy, and I'm a bad storyteller, and I was trying to add art to it and that kind of stuff. And it didn't work out. I still have the story, and I still have plans for the story because actually I've been working on this story for actually more than 10 years now. But I still would like in some fashion or form to try to get it off the ground. And that's how I started on YouTube at first. And I used to go back and listen to myself. And I used to sound so bad and I mess up. And I'm not that great even now. But I can see I have even progress from even that time. And then I went to new way to do it because the way things was turning, I was angry looking at some of the black the way we were being treated as black folks, and the way they threw the coronavirus. Well, was it before the corona? Yeah, it was a little before the coronavirus. So it was about the rioting. That's what it was when I first started my shows. It was about the rioting of George Floyd, right before George Floyd. I think after George Floyd, I think I started my show. A new way to do it. Was it before or after? It might have been before, but I might have had a comment or so doing it after it happened. But I know it was in those early stages of doing it. And I did quite a few shows, man. I did like maybe 70 shows, on YouTube of that show. That's why I was saying if you're interested in some of it, watch some of that, because some of it even I go back and watch it. It's kind of interesting. Not the same settings, nothing, because I just starting out. Then I moved from that to country. He's like, hey man, why don't we get a podcast? And I have to admit, I never thought about a podcast. I was like, well, if you do it with me. So that's how we got to do Soul Town Country and Mysteries. And it went through a couple of names and it went through some changes, before we settled on that and got that going. And now I'm into this venture, Toke Freely, you know. And I haven't stepped away from any other ventures that I'm doing except for the one with the story because I would actually like somebody that would help me. I'm not an author, but I would like somebody to help me because I basically got the story written out. It's written out in my hand, and a lot of it I can't even read, okay, because I was thinking and writing at the same time and creating in your head. When you create in your head, you have a picture and you try to describe that picture in the best way you can, and that's what I was trying to do. I think if somebody can help me finish it, it'd be a great children's book. It'd be like almost like a Harry Potter type of book. There is some witchery in it. There is the long hero. Disadvantages. I think it's a great story, but every author think their story is a great story. So I mean, and I'm not calling myself an author, but every writer, put it that way, every creator, you know. But other than that, I haven't stepped away from any other stuff I do now. Except I brought I brought Soul Time. I mean, I brought a new way to do it off of YouTube because, like I told you before, they were giving me a hard time about that, But I do like it better on podcasts, and I decided I was going to keep it on podcasts. I was going to bring it back to YouTube, but I decided no, I'm going to keep it on podcasts. So if I do record it, it'll still be on podcasts, And a lot of podcasts are offering this type of version that you can, have your show recorded anyway, and people will see it. So it still exists. The possibility of it coming back still exists as far as visually. But on to the weed, like I say, every time I get good weed, it make me talk. So this will make me talk. There's a hint, uh, a weird taste. It's just a hint, and I can smell it now too. I don't know. It's almost like a hint of a chemical taste and smell. It is that very slight hint, but as I was smoking the joint, the more and more I smoke it, I can taste it better. It's almost a chemical joint. Maybe in the way that it burns. But like I said, it doesn't take anything away from the weed. The weed already went to your head. It's good weed, you know. So how was you guys fourth? We decided to not do much. Well, we're going to decide not to do much. Let me rephrase that. I hope you guys have a nice and safe fourth. We're decided not to do much on the fourth because I have a feeling it may be some craziness going on. So I don't want to be mixed up in any of that. So, I'm not going downtown or anything for the fourth. May not even barbecue in the backyard because the way people driving by shooting up folks, it ain't no telling. But I'm wishing everybody a safe uh, 4th of July because when this come out, it's going to be on the 5th on that Monday. So we already have experienced the 4th. Some of these videos I do ahead of time so I can keep up with my shows. Soul Time with Country Mr. Reese and New Way to Do It with Reese. So sometimes I pre-record the show, ahead of time, and I predate it. And this will be one of them. I don't do all of them that way, but I do a few that way. So it keeps me up, on my shows, you know. And as for you people, please watch more. My watch time, I see, it's going down. No, people, watch the whole video. Don't just get to the good part and then cut it off. No, watch the whole video because you never know what's in store at the end. So I encourage you. Oh, and plus, I still need those subscribers. We're trying to get 10,000 subscribers or thumbs up before the end of the year. So I need you folks, man. Tell folks about me. Give me some shares and everything, because we really trying to get this stuff on the road moving. And we need your support. We need your help. And so far I am getting, my views are growing, you know. Like I said, not like I want them to, but they're growing. And I'm very grateful for that, you know. And I would never look a gift horse in the mouth. And I'm very grateful for that. I thank everybody for the new subscribers and everything. So just keep telling more people about the show. And I'm sure it's going to show. And we're going to I'm thinking about changing the backdrop. Let me know if you want me to change the backdrop or nothing. I do have some other stuff in mind. No sports stuff. But I am thinking of changing the background. Something a little more fits the mood for what I do here. This is great. I ain't gonna lie, it's great. A lot of people do like it too. A lot of people comment on it. They do like it. But maybe I have some artwork. And I met this young lady that does her own artwork, and I'm hopefully that I can get her to do some artwork for me pretty soon. And that's to come soon. And I met her here. Well, I met her here in Chicago. You know, and she does her own little artwork. And she's very talented. So hopefully I can get her to do some work for me that I can transfer maybe to some T-shirts or something. So we coming to the end of the joint. Like I said, it's a good joint all the way through. A little coffeeability, nothing, spectacular, but another good joint. Another excellent product from the cookie line, I have to say. That was a really good joint. So let's grade it. Excuse me. And so I won't take up too much more of you folks' time. So we're going to go with the smell. I'm going to smell it again, because I think I shortened that smell. It's a good smell, I have to say. It's more fruity than floral, but there is a floral smell to it as well. Very good smell. I love it. Ah, goodness. Wrapped up in a weed. That's a very good smell. I'm gonna give that smell a 9, man. I would give it a 10, but until I smell something higher, I can't give anything a 10 yet. Because I have smelt that smell before too, you know. So the taste, I'm gonna have to get the taste up there again. The taste, I'm gonna give it a 9 too. Very good taste. Flavor, I'm gonna give it a 9 as well. All of these would be 10s until I could find something that's better. I think there's probably something out there better, so I cannot give these 10s until I do that. I might be being biased. Okay, so the texture. In this case, the texture is fluffy, which I don't like. And the joint did smoke slowly, but you got that fluffy weed. You always get shortchanged on fluffy weed. So for me, the texture, the smell is good. You can break it down, doesn't it? Does, but it is the fluffiness. I'm only gonna give the texture a 7. Buzz or high? We can skip buzz. It's a high. The high's up there. I'm gonna give it an 8. Okay, the point of peak. There was a peak to this point, and it was early in the joint. I said, what, about 5, 6 tokes into the joint? So it was early in the joint. I'm going to give that a very high score. That's going to have to be a 9. Okay, accessibility. Now, see, that's what I don't know. Because I don't know how, country, his boy and them, how they do that. But I'm going to give it a generous 5. Since it was a guy that he know that sells it, I'm going to give it a 5. Coughability, no coughability, basically nothing. I'm going to put that down as a 2. Since I did slightly cough, I'm going to put that at 2. Quality. Now, the overall quality is good. It's not a 10. The fluffiness hurts it. And that little smell of something chemical and taste of something chemical, that sort of, that throws me off a little bit. So I'm going to only give that a 9. And for potency. Potency is up there. I rank it with some of the highest. And so I guess I'm going to give that a 9 as well. So let me stop and would I buy again? That's a definitely yes. I would definitely buy this again. So give me a minute, folks, and let me add this stuff up. Let me pull up the what's the name? Where is it? Right here. No, that's the wrong one. I'm sorry, wrong one. Calculator. Okay, move this over here. See, I figured out how to do this without cutting the music off. Ain't I smart? Okay, so it's 9 plus 9 plus 9 plus 7 plus 8 plus 9 plus 5 plus 2 plus 9 again and 9 again. And my score is a generous 75, folks. Out of a possible 100. So we got a 75. That's a really good score for this weed. I'm surprised that it didn't go a little higher. 9, 18, 27. You know what? I think I messed up on that, folks. Let me try that again. Plus 9, plus 9, plus 7, plus 8, plus 9, plus 5, plus 2, plus 9, and plus 9 again. 76. So I got a 76 instead of a 75. All right. So there's one number difference. That was some really good weed. I highly recommend it. Go out and try to find you some blue cream cookies. Go ask your local dispenser or your local dealer. This is a weed that actually exists, so I'm sure if you go to your dispensary and hunt a little bit for it, you will find it. You will enjoy it. I highly recommend it. Good weed again. Finding a lot of good weed lately. So thanks to all the people that do help me out to find this weed. I really appreciate it. Even my partner helped me out on this one. Okay, folks. So until next time, and until the next time we meet, talk freely. Bye bye. Take care.